households, both alike in dignity. In fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break new to mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, from whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death do bury their parents' strife.
The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's inn, naught could remove, is now the 2-hour traffic of our stage.
The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Georgia, on my word, we will not carry coals.
No, for then we should be colliers.
And we being Kohler, will draw.
Aye, and while you live, draw your neck out of the collar.
I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me. A dog of that house shall move me to strike.
That shows thee a weak slave.
'Tis true, and therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are ever pushed to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and push his maids to the wall. 'Tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh.
Oh, 'tis well thou art not fish, for if thou hadst been poor John. Here comes the house of the Montagues. Draw your weapon.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel. I will back thee.
How? By turning thy back and running?
Fear me not.
Oh, no, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
Ah, I will frown at them as they approach. They can take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is disgrace if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
It's the law of our side if I say I.
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
For if you do, I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better. Here comes one of our master's kingsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men!
Women, not men. We'll watch you die.
Part, fools! Put up your swords, for you know not what you do.
What? Drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and face thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage it to part these men with me.
Drawn and talk of peace? I hate the very word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward!
Sybil's.
You?
What is this noise? Fetch me my long sword.
A crutch. Why call you for a sword?
Oh, thou touch!
Thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor's stained steel, will they not hear? You men, you beasts that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and listen to the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls bred of an airy word by the old Capulet and Montague have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by grave beseeming ornaments to wield partisans in hands as old, cakered with peace to parts your cakered hate. If you ever disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit to the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, the common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Who sent this ancient quarrel new approach? Speak, nephew. Were you by when it began?
Here stood the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them, but in that instant came the fiery Tybalt, sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who, nothing hurt withal, hissed him in scorn. While he was interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshiped sun peered forth from the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward rooteth from the city's side, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of wood. I, measuring his affections by my own, pursuing my humor, not pursuing his, gladly shunned, who gladly fled from me.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding the clouds, more clouds with his deep sighs. But as the all-hearing sun should in the farthest east begin to draw, the shady curtains from Aurora's bed away from light steals home my heavy sun. But private in his chamber, pens himself up, shuts up his windows and locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and portentous must his humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know nor can I learn from him, both by myself and many other friends, as he, his own affections counselor, is to himself. How, I will not say how true, but to himself, so secret and so close, so far from sounding in discovery, but as the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the same. Could we but learn from whence the sorrow grows, we would as willingly give cure to know.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll much know his grievance, or else be denied.
Oh, thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Day so young.
But news struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went in so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love.
Out.
Of love.
Out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so rough and tyrannous in view.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eye see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz. I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why such is love's transgression? Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, as thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown me doth only add grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed a sea nourished with loving tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft! I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan? Why, no, but sadly, tell me who.
A sick man in sadness makes his will. A word ill urged to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
Ah! I aimed so near when I suppose you love.
A right fair markman. And she's fair, I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. Rosaline will not be hit by Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak, childish bow she lives uncharmed.
Then she hath sworn she will still live in chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty starved with her severity cuts beauty off from all posterity. She is too wise, too fair, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty serve but as a note where I may read who passed that passing fair? Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not so hard, I think, for men as old as we to keep our peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at our huts for so long. But now, my lord, what do you say to my suit?
Saying o'er what I said before, my child is but a stranger to this world. She hath not seen the change of 17 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we think her ripe to be your bride.
But younger are her happy mother's maid.
And too soon martyr those early maid. The earth hath swallowed up my hopes whole, but she is the hopeful lady of my earth. Woo her. Gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. And she has agreed within her scope of choice lies my consent, and fair according voice. This night, I shall hold an old accustomed feast, and many a guest I invite are among those I love, and you are such the store. Come, go with me. Sirrah! Trudge about through fair Verona. Find all whose names are written upon this list, and to them say, to my house and my welcome their pleasure stay.
Find those whose names are written here. It is written that the shoemaker shall meddle with his yard, and the tailor with his last, the shoemaker with his pencil, and the painter with his nets.
Find them out whose names are written here, but I can never find the names the writing person hath here writ. To the learn I must, for I cannot read. I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, mine own fortune and my misery.
You may have learned without a book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly, rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, County Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece, Rosaline.
And Livia, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio, and the lively Helena.
A fair assembly. Whither should they come?
Up!
Whither? To supper?
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
I'll tell you without asking. By my master, the great and rich Capulet. And if you're not the house of Montague, I pray, sir, come and crush a cup of wine.
At this same ancient feast of Capulets sups the fair Rosaline thou lovest so. And with all the other admired beauties of Verona, come thither and compare her face with some that I shall show. And I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me, would you, please?
Now by my maiden hair, 12-year-old, I bid her come. But lamb,
But Ladybird, God forbid, where is this girl? Juliet!
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while, would you? We must speak in private.
Oh, speak in private, she says. Well, I was a nurse for 17.
Nurse!
I can't really talk to her.
Come back. I've remembered myself. You know my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not yet 17.
How long's it now till Lammas died?
A fortnight and odd days.
Even her odd of all days of the year, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 17. Susan is she, God rest all Christian souls who are of an age. Well, Susan is with God now. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 17. That shall she. Mary, I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake, now 11 years, and she was weaned. I shall never forget it. For all days of the year, upon a day, I had laid wormwood to my dove, sitting in the sun under the dove house wall, my lord deeper than the Mantua. But as I said, when I did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug and felt it bitter, pretty fool to see her touchy and follow with the dug. And shake, quoth the dove house, and 'twas no need I tried, I bid me trudge. And since that time is 11 years, she could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, oh God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the jow. Yeah, quoth he, does thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou said more wit. Well, thou not, Jewel, and by my holiday the pretty wretch left crying and said, oh, to see how a jest I come about, and I warrant I shall live 1,000 years, and I will never forget it.
Enough of this, I pray thee. Hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot to choose but laugh when you believe crying, and say I.
And sent thou too, nurse, I pray thee, say I.
Peace. I have done. God mark thee to his grace, thou was the prettiest bay I ever nursed, and I might live to see thee married once, so I have my wish.
Mary. That Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
An honor? Were not I thine only nurse, I would say thou hast such wisdom from thy teat.
Well, think of marriage now. Here in Verona, younger than you, ladies of esteem, are already made mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady. A lady is such a man. Oh, aye, he is a man of wax.
Verona summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower in faith. A very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? Tonight you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of young Paris's face and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. Examine every married lineament and see how one another lends content, and what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margent of his eyes. This precious book, this unbound lover, to beautify him lacks only a cover. For the fish lives in the sea, and 'tis for fair within fair to hide. So shall you share all that he doth possess, by having him making yourself no less.
No less? Nay, bigger. Women grow by men?
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris's love?
I will look to like, if looking liking move, but no more will I dart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up. You called me, young lady, asked for the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity, I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow me.
We follow thee. Juliet, Paris awaits.
Go, girl. Seek happy days to happy nights.
Give me a torch. I'm not for the sampling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft, to soar with his light feathers, and so bound I cannot bound a pitch of dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in. Come, we burn daylight.
Nay, that's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay we waste our light. In vain, lights. Lights by day, take our good meaning in which our judgment sits. 5 times I err once in our 5 wits.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
And why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife and comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a little team of atomy over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes, made of long spinner's legs, that cover the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider webs, her collars of the moonshine's watery beams. Her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of film. Her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat, not half so big, the size of a round little worm pricked on the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot, empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub, time out of mind the fairy's coachmakers. And in this state, she gallops, night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love, over courtiers' knees, who dream on curtsies straight, over lawyers' fingers, who straight dream on fees, and over ladies' lips, who straight on kisses dream, which of the angry mab with blisters plagues, because their breaths with sweetmeats tainted are. Sometimes she gallop over a courtier's nose, then dream he of smelling out a suit. Sometime comes she with a tithe pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. Then dream he of another benefice. Sometime she driveth over a soldier's neck, then dream he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, emboscados, Spanish blades, of helps 5 fathom deep. And then anon drums in his ear, at which he starts and wakes, and, being thus frightened, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that fairy mab that plats the manes of horses in the night, and makes the flocks and fast sluttish hairs, which once entangled, much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their back, presses them, and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she! This is she!
Peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talkst of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, as thin as the substance is air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos, even now, on the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his side to the dew-dripping south.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come to...
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars, shall bitterly begin its fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life close in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death.
Romeo!
On, lusty gentlemen. Lady.
Where is Pophand that he helped not to be? He shift a trencher, he scrape a trencher.
Hey, ready?
You were looked for and asked for, called for and sought for in the great chamber. Away with the joint stools, remove the court cupboard, look to the plate. Good thou, save me a piece of marchpane, and as thou loves me, let in Susan grindstone and now.
I cannot be here and there too. Chili boys, be brisk a while. For the longest liver, take all.
Welcome, gentlemen, lady. I have seen the day that I have worn a mask and could tell a whispering tale into a lady's ear. Such would please, such would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone. 'Tis gone. Come, musicians play. A halt, give room. Foot it, girls, and more light, you knaves. Turn the tables up. Quench the fire, this room grows too hot. Nay, good cousin Capulet, come and sit with me. Oh, how long has it been since last yourself and I were in a mask? We are past our dancing days.
Fire lady, 30 years!
What man, 'tis not so much. 'Tis since the nuptial of Lucentio. Come Pentecost as quickly as it will, some 5 and 20 years, and then we mask.
'Tis more, his son is out of his son is 30.
How will you tell me that when his son was but a ward 2 years ago?
What lady's that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight? Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight. For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague. Fetch me my sword, girl. What dares the slave come hither covered with an antique face to fleer and scorn at our solemnity? By the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead, I'll hold it not a sin.
How now, kinsman?
Uncle.
What forestorm you so?
This is a Montague, our foe. A villain come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
To see that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz. Be patient. Take no note of him. He bears himself like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. Therefore, it is my will, which thou respect. Take no note of him. Put off these frowns and ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What to, goodman boy? Go to. Am I the master here, or are you? Go to. He'll not be endured. God shall mend your soul. You will set cock-a-hoop. You will make a mutiny among my guests, and you'll be the man.
Right, uncle, 'tis a
Go
shame.
to. Go to. You are a saucy boy, is it so indeed?
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, as gentle sin as this, my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips, holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips they must use in prayer.
Then let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Move not, my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass, sweetly urged. Give me my sin again.
You kiss. Well.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Marry, bachelor. Her mother is lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and a virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
She is a Capulet. Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, begone. The sport is at its best.
Aye, so I fear. The more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen. Lady, prepare not to be gone. We still have a trifling, elegant banquet to attend. Is it evening so? By my fie, all to rest.
Come hither, nurse. What was yon gentleman?
The son and heir of old Tiberio.
No, the one who went out the door.
Mary, that I think be old Petruchio.
No, the one who went out with friends.
I know not.
What is his name?
His name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen and known too late. Prodigious birth of love, it is to me that I must love the loathed enemy.
What's this?
What's this? A rhyme I learned even now of when I danced withal.
Anon. Come, let's away. All the strangers have gone.
Now old desire doth in his deathbed lay, and young affection gapes to be his heir.
That fair which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair.
But to his foe, suppose he must complain, and she steal love's sweet bait from fearful hooks.
Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear, and she, as much in love, who means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power. Time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme sweet.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo? Romeo!
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He hath leapt this way and climbed the orchard wall. Call good, Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Madman! Humors! Okay. Passion! Lover! Appear thou in the likeness of a spy. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. Cry but ay me, pronounce but love and dove.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him. He hath stolen into the covert of wood, disguised himself with the night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed, for this field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain.
But soft, what light to yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief. For thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. She speaks. Yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. See how she leans her hand upon her cheek? Oh, that I were a glove upon that cheek, that I might touch that hand.
Ay me.
She speaks. Speak again, brand angel. For thou art as glorious to this night, being o'er my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not to Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. What's it a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thyself, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou, thus bescreened in night, so stumblest upon my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, in that it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and thy place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I approach these walls. For stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do that dares love attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than in 20 of their swords. And look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek for that which had heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will believe thee. Yet if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. They say at lovers' perjuries Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou love me, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. In truth, fair Romeo, I am too fond, and thou may think my behavior light, but trust me, gentlemen, I'll prove more fair than those have more coin to be strange. I should have been more strange, I must confess, but thou hast overheardest ere was I my true love passion.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon I vow, the tips with silver all these fruit trees.
Swear not by the moon, thy inconstant moon, which monthly changes through her circled orb, lest thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love.
Do not swear. Though I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I did give thee mine before thou didst request it, and I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank and to give it to thee again. And I wish for but what I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. For the more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Juliet!
I hear a noise within. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true, and I'll come again.
Oh, blessed night. I am afeard being a knight, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If thy bent of love prove honorable, and thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow. by one that I'll procure where and what time to perform the rite. And all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, for now follow my lord throughout the world.
Madam!
I come anon! Or if thou wilt not, I do beseech
Madam!
thee. By and by I come, to cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night. Romeo,
My dear,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. Romeo? I forgot why I did call thee back.
I will stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee stay there, remembering how I love thy company.
And I'll still stay here, have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Now, ere the sun advance its burning eye, the day to cheer, the night's dank dew to dry, I must fill this osier case of ours with baleful weeds and precious juiced flowers. The earth that's nature's mother is her tomb, what is her burying grave that is her womb? And from her womb, many children of diverse kind we, sucking on her natural bosom find. Many, for many, virtues excellent. None but for some, and yet all different. Oh, mickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants and herbs and stones in their true qualities. Qualitize. Qualitize. For not so vile on the earth doth live, but to the earth some special good doth give. For within the infant rind of this weak flower, poison hath residence and medicine power. For this being smelt, this part cheers each part, but being tasted, slays all senses with the heart. Into such kings encamp them still, in men as well as herbs, grace and rude will. And where the worser is predominant, full soon the canker death eats up that plant.
Good morrow, Father.
Benedicite, what young tongue so saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head to so soon bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assume thou art uproused with some distemperature. Or, if here I hit it right, our Romeo hath not been to bed tonight.
That last was true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin! Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no. I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son, but then where hast thou been?
I'll tell thee ere thou ask it again. I have been feasting with mine enemy.
Be plain, good son, and only in thy drift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. And as mine on hers, so hers is set on mine. And all combined save what thou must combine. By holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis! What a change is here! Is Rosaline thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies, not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Jesus Maria! What a deal of brine has washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline. Pronounce this sentence then. Woman may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me oft for loving Rosaline?
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
I love now, doth grace for grace and love for love allow.
Come, young waverer, in one respect I'll thy assistant be, for this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancour to pure love.
Who let it hence? I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow they stumble that run fast.
Hey.
Where the devil shall this Romeo be? Came he not home last night?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
Why, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline, torments him so that he will surely run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman to Capulet, old Capulet, hath sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master, how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead, stabbed with the white wench's black eye, run through the air with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with the blind bowboy's butt shaft, and is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than Prince of Cats. Oh, he's the courageous captain of compliments. He fights his using prick song and keeps time, distance, and proportion. He rests his men unrest. 1, 2, and the third, right in your bosom. The very butcher of a silk button. A duelist. A gentleman of the first house and of the first and second cause. Ah, the immortal, the pasado, the punto reverso, the hey.
Here comes Romeo.
Without his roe, like a dry daring. Signor Romeo, bonjour, a French salutation for your French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio. My business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say, such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hands.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly
A
hit.
most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered.
Sure wit, follow me this just now till thou hast worn out thy pump, that when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain, after the wearing, solely singular.
Oh, single soul jest solely singular for the singleness.
Good Benvolio, come between us, my wits faints.
Stop there. Stop there.
Here's goodly gear. A sail, a sail!
Two.
Petra,
Anon?
my fan, Petra.
Good Petra, a fan to hide her face, for her fan is the fairer face.
God you good morrow, gentlemen and ladies.
God you good afternoon, fair gentle lady.
Is it the afternoon?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of your...
Out upon you, what lady are you?
One gentlewoman that God himself hath made to mar.
By my troth, that is well said, for himself to mar, quoth he. Gentlemen, can either of you tell me where I might find young Romeo?
I can tell you. But young Romeo will be older when you have found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well, and if you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper.
Romeo, will you come to your father's? We'll to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady! Lady!
I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this so full of her ropery?
A lady nurse who loves to hear herself speak and will talk more in a minute than she'll stand to in a month.
If she speak anything against me, I'll take her down. And she were lustier than she looks in 20 such jacks. And if I cannot, I will find those who shall. Scurvy knave, I am none of her skeins mates. I am none of her flirt kills. And thou must stand by to myself for every knave to use me at her pleasure?
I saw no woman use you at your pleasure. If I had, my weapon would have surely been out. I warned you, I dare draw at any manner. Granted, I see the occasion in a good quarrel and the law on my side.
Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if you shall lead her into a fool's paradise, as I say, for 'twere very gross kind of behavior, as they say, for the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if you should deal double with her, truly 'twere ill thing to be offered to any woman of the sort, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I will protect her. I protest unto thee. I will...
Good heart, and thy faith will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
Bid her devise some means to come to shrift this afternoon, and there, at Friar Lawrence's cell, she'll be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, sir, truly, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
Aye, 1,000 times. Petra.
Anon?
Before in space.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. But old folks, many faint as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, pale as lead. She comes. What news? Hast thou met with him?
I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I?
I would thy my bones, and I thy news. I pray thee, nurse, speak. Thy good nurse, speak.
Ye soon with haste. Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou make in this delay is longer than the tale that thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, and his leg excels all men's, and as for a hand and a foot and a body, though they're not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench. Serve God. Have you dined at home?
What? No, but all this did I know before. What he says of our marriage, what of that?
Lord, how my head aches. Oh, what a head have I, and beats as if it were to fall to 20 pieces and such. And my back. No, the other side. Pursue your heart for sending me about to catch my death while jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. What says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and the kind, and the courteous, and the handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother?
God's lady, steer are you so hot? Mary, come up my trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Nurse, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now comes the one time of blood up in your cheeks. Oh, but be scalded straight to any news. Hie you to church.
And I have fortune. Farewell, honest nurse.
No.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, it cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confunds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately, long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Ah, here comes the lady.
Good evening, it's my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank the daughter for us both.
As much to him else as his thanks too much.
Come with me and we will make short work, for by your leaves you two shall not stay alone until Holy Church incorporates two into one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day is hot, the capels are abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table, and says, God send me no need of thee. And upon the operation of the second cup, stabs the bartender, when there is indeed no need.
By my head, here come the Capulet.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close. I will speak with them. Good evening, gentlemen. A word with one of you.
And but just one word with one of us. Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You will find me apt enough for that, sir. And you will give me an occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What? Dost thou make us minstrels? And to make minstrels of us, look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick, that shall make you dance.
We speak here in the public haunt of men. Either withdraw into some private place, or reason coldly of your grievances. Here, all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to gaze. Let them look. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you. Here comes my man.
I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery. Mary, go before to field. He'll be your follower. Your worship, in that sense, may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore, farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee more than thou canst devise, till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own. Be satisfied.
Oh, calm, dishonorable, vile submission! Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
And what wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives. Will you pluck your sword from his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears, ere it be out.
I am for you.
Mercutio, put that rapier up. Benvolio, draw! Beat down their weapons.
With what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage. Mercutio!
Plague, both your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye, a scratch. Marry, 'tis enough. Where's my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
The courage, the hurt cannot be much.
No, not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave woman. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague! Both your houses! Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
I thought all for the best.
A plague! Both your houses. They have made worms meat of me, and soundly too. Your houses.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead.
This day's black fate on other days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end. Tybalt, alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain, away to heaven. Respective lenity and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Tybalt, take the villain back again, the plate thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul, it's but a little way above our heads. Staying, for thine to keep her company. Either thou or I or both must go with her.
Thou wretched boy that didst consort her here, shalt with her hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amused. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. And be gone, away.
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies that man slew by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin, my brother's son! The blood of my dear kinsman is shed. Princess, thou art true for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo that spoke him fair, bid he bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce to this unruly spleen of Tybalt. Deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast. Who, all is hot, turns deadly point to point, and with a martial scorn beats cold death aside, and the other Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold friends, friends part. And swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points. And twixt them rushes underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt. And stout Mercutio slain. Tybalt fled, but by and by comes back again to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to it they went like lightning, for ere I drew to part them was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly? This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. His affection makes him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them were in this black strife, and all of 20 could take but one life. justice which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio, who now the price of his dear blood doth owe.
Not Romeo, Prince. He was Mercutio's friend. Now the law still concludes what the law should end is the life of Tybalt.
And for that defense, immediately we will exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie, bleeding. But all of mercy was so strong, a fine that you all shall repent the loss of mine. Are we deaf to pleading excuses? Nor tears, nor prayers will purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he's found the hour is at last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Gentle knight, come. Loving black-browed knight, give me my Romeo. And when I die, take him and cut him in little stars, and all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Here comes my nurse, and she brings news. And anyone who speaks but Romeo's name speaks with heavenly eloquence.
Oh, where a day. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead! We are undone, lady, we are undone. Alack the day he's gone. He's killed, he's dead.
Can God be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot own Romeo. Romeo, who would have ever thought it to be Romeo?
What devil art thou, torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself?
I saw the wound, I saw it with mine own eyes. Oh, God, save thee, mark here on his manly breast a piteous course. A bloody, piteous course, pale as ashes, all bedowed in blood. All in gore, I swooned at the sight.
Oh, break, my heart break at once. To prison eyes ne'er look on liberty.
Oh, Tybalt! Tybalt, the best friend I ever had, oh courteous Tybalt, honest gentleman, that I shall ever live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and Tybalt dead?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo's banished. Romeo that killed him, he's banished.
Oh, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. Alas, the day it did.
Oh, serpent-hearted with a flowering face. Ever a dragon keep so fair a cave? A damned saint and honorable villain.
There's no trust, no faith, no honesty in men. All preacher'd, all forsworn. Where is my woman? Give me some aquavitae. These griefs, these woes, these sorrows, for they make me grow old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame.
Will you speak well of him who killed your cousin?
Shall I speak ill of him who is my husband? Oh, poor my lord. What tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, did thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. My husband lives, who Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt is dead, who would have slain my husband. Romeo was banished. There is no end, measure, limit, bound in the depth of that word. No word can woe sound. Where are my mother and father, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
They wash his wounds with tears? My shall be spent when theirs are dry for Romeo's banishment. Come, nurse, Take me to my wedding bed for death. Not Romeo shall take my maidenhead.
You to your chamber. I'll get Romeo to comfort you. I won't tell where he is. Hark you, your Romeo will be here by night. I'll to him. He is hid at Lawrence's cell.
Romeo, come forth, thy fearful man. Affliction is enamored of thy part, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that I yet know not?
Too familiar is my dear son with such sorrow company. I bring thee tidings of the prince's doom.
What less than doomsday is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment? Be merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in its look, much more than death. Do not say banished.
Here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona's walls, but torture, purgatory, hell itself.
Oh, deadly sin, oh, rude unthankfulness. Thy fault our law calls death, but the kind prince, taking thy part, hath rushed aside the law and turned that black word death to banishment. This is dear mercy, and thou seest not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing, may look upon her, but Romeo may not. Most honorable state. Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden means of death, ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me. Banished. Friar, the damned use that word in hell. Howling attends it.
Oh, that I see that madmen have no ears.
How can they when that wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of what thou dost not feel.
Arise, good Romeo, one knocks. Hide thyself. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, Friar. Oh, holy Friar, tell me, where is my lady's lord? Where is Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
He is even in my mistress's case. Just in her case, oh, woeful sympathy, piteous predicament, even so lies she, blubbering and weeping and blubbering. Stand up. Stand up. Stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake. For her sake, please rise and stand. Why should you fall to such deep an O?
Nurse.
Sir, death's the end of all.
Speakest thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth she not think me an old murderer? Now I have stained the childhood of our Troy with blood removed but little from her own. How is she, and what says my concealed lady to our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps, and now starts up and falls down, and Tybalt cries, then on Romeo calls, and then falls down again.
As if that name, shot from the deadly level of a gun, did murder her. As that name's cursed hand did murder her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what part of this vile anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand! By my holy order, I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Will thy slay thyself and slay thy lady that in thy life lives by doing damned hate upon thyself? What rouse thee, men? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy. The law that threatens death becomes thy friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings light upon thy back. Happiness counts thee in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench, thy pouts upon thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go, get thee to thy lady. Ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look, thou stayest not to the watch be set. Then thou canst not pass to Mantua, or thou shalt stay till we can find time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 100,000 times more joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Wait, go before, nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto. Romeo is coming!
Oh, Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear such good counseling. Oh, what learning is. My lord, I'll tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepared chide.
Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
Go hence, good night, and here stands your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or disguised from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your man, and he shall signify from time to time every good hap that chances here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell. Good night.
Farewell.
Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter.
These times of woe afford no time to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight, she's mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she be ruled in all aspects by me. Nay, more I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her of my son Paris's love. And, mark you me, on Wednesday next, prepare her. Soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Wednesday is too soon. Thursday. Let it be Thursday. She shall be married to this noble earl on Thursday. What say you?
My lord, I wish that Thursday were tomorrow.
Get you gone. Wife, go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Acquaint her, prepare her against this wedding day. Light to my chamber. It is so late, we may call it early, by and by.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, not the lark, that pierced thy fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yon pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yon daylight is not daylight, I know it. It is a meteor that the sun exalted to be thy torchbearer and light thy way to Mantua. Therefore, stay yet, thou need not be gone.
Let me be taken. Let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is it, my soul? Let's talk. It's not day.
It is. Hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark who sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, be gone. The more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
nurse,
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary. Look about.
Then let light in and let love out.
Farewell. Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What, wilt thou wash him from the grave with thy tears? And if thou couldst not make him live, therefore have done.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Therefore weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua where that same banished runagate doth live, shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied. But now I tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
Joyful news comes well in such a needful time. What is it, beseech your ladyship?
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to bring you out of your heaviness, hath sorted out a day of joy that thou expects not, nor I looked not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn at St. Peter's Church to the young, gallant, noble County Paris shall make thee there a joyful bride.
Not by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride.
And here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he takes it at your hands.
How now, conduit girl? What? Still in tears? How now, wife? Have you not delivered to her a decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
How will she none? Doth she not give thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought such a worthy gentleman to be her bride?
Not proud you have, but thankful you have.
How? 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 What shop logic is this? Fed up thine joints against Thursday next to get thee to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee there and thither. Out, you green-colored carry-on! Out, you young baggage, you tallow face!
Fie, what are you, mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience but to speak a word.
Get thee to church on Thursday or never look me in the face, you disobedient wretch!
God in heaven bless her! You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so!
Lady wisdom, smatter your gossip so!
I speak no treason!
God be silent!
May one not speak!
Utter your gravity of the bull, for here we need it not!
You are too hot!
God's bread, it makes me mad! Graze where you will. You shall not house with me. Look to it. Think on it. I do not use jest. Lay hand on hard advice, and Thursday come you be mine, I shall give you to my friend. And you not? Hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul all ne'er acknowledge thee, and what is mine shall ne'er do thee good. Look to it. Bethink you all not be forsworn.
Is there no pity in the clouds sitting on the bottom of my grief? Oh, sweet mother, cast me not away. Delay thy marriage a month, a week. Or if thou wilt not, make my grave in the dim monument where Tybalt lies.
You will marry Paris on Thursday next, or else he is done with thee. And so am I.
Oh, sweet nurse, how may this be prevented?
Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing that he dares never come back to challenge you, or if you do, it must needs be by stealth. Then since the case stands as it now doth, I think it is best you marry Paris and forget Romeo. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo is as clout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, but I think you were happy in the second match, for it excels your first, or if it did not, your first is dead.
Speak thou from thy heart?
And from my soul, too. Else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Tell my mother I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence's cell to make confession and be absolved.
Mary, I will. And this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation! Oh, wicked fiend! Lawrence is cell to know his remedy. And if all else fails, I have the power to die myself.
On Thursday, sir, the time is very short.
My father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind? Uneven is the course, I'd like it not.
Moderately, she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore I have little talk of love, for Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she gives her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes the marriage, which too much minded by herself alone may be put from her by society. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why the wedding should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady and wife.
That may be when I may be a wife.
That may be, must be, on Thursday next.
What will be, shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come, you make a confession to this father.
To answer that, I should confess to you.
So you will. Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So you will. I am confident that you love me.
If so, it's better said behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
Are you at your leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you during evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday next, will I rouse you. For now, adieu. And keep this holy kiss.
Oh, come weep with me. Past hope, past care, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I fear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Oh, Friar, tell me not that thou knowest of this, unless thou may tell me how I may prevent it. If thy wisdom canst give no help, then this shall help it presently.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope which craves as desperate an execution as that is which we would prevent. If, rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame, that copest with death himself to escape from it. If thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap, rather than marry Paris off the battlement of any tower. And I'll do so without fear or doubt to be an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then, go home. Give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, and being in bed and with distilling liquor, drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his native progress, but Circe's.
No warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to pally ashes, like thy eyes' windows fall, like death when he shuts up the day of life.
Each part deprived of supple government shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death.
And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue for 42 hours, and then awake as if from a pleasant sleep.
And when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead.
Then, as is the manner of our country, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be born to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie.
In the meantime, against shall thou awake. Shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking. And that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
From this present shame.
Tell me not of fear.
Go then, get you gone. In this resolve I'll send letters to Mantua with letters to thy lord.
Lord, give me strength, and strength shall help me afford Farewell, dear father.
Ah, Friar John.
Sirrah! Sirrah! Fetch me 20 cunning cooks.
Shall none ill, sir, for I'll only try if they can lick their fingers.
How canst thou test them so?
Marry, sir, 'tis an ill cook who cannot lick his fingers. Therefore, he who cannot lick his fingers goes not with me.
Go! Be gone! Wilt be much unfurnished for this time. What is my daughter? Off to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
He made Stanton good on her. An ill-beseeming, peevish self-harlotry it is.
Yep. See where she comes from church with Mary Look.
Aye, my headstrong. Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learned to repent the sin of my disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and enjoyed with holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon.
I'm glad on it. This is as it should be. Rise, stand up. Hey, Mary, let me see the county. Bring forth County Paris. I wish to speak to him. Bring forth County Paris. That Friar Lawrence, among God, our town is much embedded to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to sort such needful ornaments as you see fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There is time enough.
No. Nurse, go with her. We'll to church tomorrow.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
I'll stir about. I'll make things well tonight. You, I bid you, wife, go to Juliet. Help deck her up against this wedding day. I'll not to bed tonight. I'll make things well. I'll play housewife this once. Because my heart is full of wondrous light that the wayward girl has been so reclaimed.
Aye, these attires are best, nurse, but I pray thee leave me to myself tonight.
What, are you busy? Need you my help?
No, madam, we have sorted everything that is behooveful for our state tomorrow. Now, please, let me be left alone.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we may meet again. I have this faint, cold fear that flows through my veins to almost freeze up the heat of life. Come, Vile. What if this does not work at all? Shall I be married tomorrow morning? No. No. This shall forbid it. Romeo! 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 Here's drink. drink to thee.
Mistress! What mistress? Juliet, fast, I warned her. My lamb, my lady, sweetheart, but bride? What? Not a word? What? Dressed and in your clothes and down again? Lady, I must needs awake you. Lady, lady, lady. Alas! Alas! Help! Help! My lady's dead! Oh, where a day I was ever born! Samachlavite, my lord! My lady!
What noise is here?
Lamentable day!
What is the matter?
Oh, look! Look, a heavy day!
Oh, me. Oh, me. No, my child, my only life! Revive her, I will die with thee! Please help! No! No!
Bring Juliet forth, her lord. Let me see her! Let me see her!
She's dead! She's dead!
Her blood is cold! Her joints are settled, her blood is stiff!
Come, is the bride ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, child. Oh, child! My child is dead, and with her my dreams are buried.
Peace, for shame. Confusion's cure hath not in these confusions. Heaven and yourself had part in this fair maid. Now heaven hath all, and all the better it is for the maid. For your part in her you could not keep from death. But heaven keeps his part in eternal life. Dry up your tears. Stick your rosemary on this fair course as the custom is. For though fond nature bids us all lament, yet nature's tears are reason's merriment.
All things we ordained festival turn their office to black funeral.
Sir, go you in. Madam, go with him. Nurse, follow. Everyone prepare to follow this fair course unto her grave.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in the Capulet's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her lay low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell you. Oh, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it evening so? Then I deny you, stars. Thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Thou art deceived. Leave me and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee be gone and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means Mischief, thou art swift to enter the thoughts of desperate men. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabouts he dwells, which late I noted. What ho, apothecary?
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, men. I see thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding cure as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and the trunk may be discharged to breath as hastily as powder fired from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
Art thou so bare and full of wretchedness, and fearest to die? Famine is in thy cheeks, need and oppression starveth in thy eyes. Contempt and beggary hangs upon thy back. The world is not thy friend, nor the world's law. The world affords no law to make thee rich. Be not poor, but break it, and take this.
My poverty, but not my will, consents.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid thing you will and drink it off, and if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There is thy gold. Farewell, get food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave. There must I use thee.
Holy Francinian Friar Brother!
The same should be said for the voice of Friar John. Welcome from Mantua. What says Romeo? Or, if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order, to associate me here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town suspect that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors, and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bare my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it, nor get a messenger to bring it thee. So fearful were they of infection.
Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, that letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it made too much danger. Friar John, go hence.
Brother, I'll go.
Now I must to the monument alone, for within these 3 hours will fair Juliet wake.
Torch girl, hence and stand off! Yet put it out for I not be seen. Under yonder trees lie thee all along, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground, so shall no foot step upon the churchyard dread. But thou shalt hear it. Whistle to me then as a signal thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee. Go!
I am almost afraid to stand here alone in the churchyard. Gift I will venture.
Sweet flowers by flowers, I bridal bed I strew. Oh woe, can appease dust and stones. The girl was something doth approach. Stop thine hollow toy vow, Montague! Confederates be pursued furthermore than death. Commended villain, I apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die. I must indeed, and so came I hither. Good, gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bid thee run away. To defy thy communication, I apprehend for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? And have at thee, boy.
Oh Lord, they fight! I will go to watch!
Oh, I've been slain. Thou was merciful. I me next to Juliet. Death, lie there thou, by a dead man interred. my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey of thy breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not yet conquered. Beauty's ensign yet crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. Death's pale flag hath not advanced there. Here will I take my everlasting rest and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you seal with a righteous kiss. Here's to my love. Us, the drink, I die.
I do remember well where I should be. Where's Romeo? Where's my love? No! Romeo! Romeo! Why dost thou not wake? What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand. Poison I see hath been his timeless end. Oh, child, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. I will kiss thy lips. Maybe some poison yet hang on them to help me die. Thy lips are warm. Then I'll be brief. Happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There, rust and let me
Romeo, oh pale. Who else? Juliet, too. And steeped in blood. Oh, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. Oh, Juliet, sweet Juliet, thou liest in peace at last.
Girl, which
Which way?
This is the place. There, where torch doth burn.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, and whoever you may find, attach.
Pitiful sight! There lie the Paris slain! Go! Find the prince! Run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues! Some others, search!
What fear is this which startles in our ears?
Here lies the Count of Paris slain, the Romeo dead, Juliet dead before, warm and newly killed.
Oh heavens, oh wife! Look at how our daughter bleeds.
The sight of death is Isabel that warns my old age to a sepulchre.
Friar, say at once what thou dost know in this.
Romeo, they're dead, was husband to thy Juliet, and she, they're dead, was Romeo's faithful wife. I married them. You would have married her to Paris, so comes she to me, desperate for help. And so give I to her a sleeping potion, which wrought on her the form of death. Meanwhile, I writ to Romeo that he should hither come to help to take her from her borrowed grave. But he was stayed by accident and did not know the truth.
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, unknowing of the truth, and he came with haste and saw the county Paris, who came with flowers to his lady's grave. He died defending her monument.
And when I came, summoned near the hour of her awakening, here lie the noble Paris and true Romeo dead. And now Juliet also lies cold. Two lovers, at last freed from the chains of your hatred. Their love now thrive in the better place.
Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague! See what a scourge is laid upon your hates, that even heaven finds ways to kill your joys with love. And I, from winking at your discords, too have lost a race of kinsmen. All are punished.
Montague, brother, give me thy hand.
I will give thee more. I will give my trust and loyalty.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was there a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.